Hi, I'm Michael Jordan with AB Friendly Company out of Cheyenne, Wyoming, and you're down at the Underground Meadery today. Today I've got a really cool one for you. I think it's a little out of the box. I hope you really enjoy it. We'll go through all the supplies and all the stuff, but we're going to make a black cherry braggot uh, using beer. Braggot is a grained mead that it's using a little bit more grains and stuff in it, and with the honeys and stuff to get a little more flavors. But instead of seeping grains and getting malts and stuff, we're going to use a beer. I prefer that you guys use like a double IPA, something with some good hops in it and stuff with it. Always open your cans of beer a couple days in advance to let it kind of decarbonate and stuff like that. But I didn't have time to do that. I was just kind of going through some stuff, so I kind of popped open some cans, and we'll kind of go through everything. I'm drinking a strawberry banana today. Super good, lots of complex flavors in it and stuff. So I'm really enjoying doing what I do. Appreciate you guys tuning in and checking us out here at the Underground Meadery. Uh, let's get started. So I've got a gallon of water that we'll be using to tap things off. I've got Trelawney black cherry syrup. This is sugar-free. I'm going to be using a quarter cup of it. I've got 2.5 pounds of honey. I've got 2 cans of Melvin's double IPA. You can use Sierra Nevada, anything that you prefer that's an IPA that likes. I like a double IPA, but I'm using 2 cans of Melvin's 2x4 IPA. I've got my Red Star yeast. I've got my fermentation device, which is a 1-gallon glass jug. I've got our airlock. A lot of people have been asking me about why I don't use an airlock, and then another guy wrote me and he says, I totally understand the balloon, that it saved his roof, that the balloon swelled up and all the stuff went into the balloon and kind of held to the side, and he didn't lose anything. He was able to tip it up, jump it all back in, and didn't lose anything in it. So that's one reason we're using that. I've got my plastic device to hold my hydrometer. I've got my hydrometer, temperature gauge, pin, scissors, and my recipe. Recipe is called a cherry beer. 2 cans of beer, quarter cup of black cherry syrup, 2.5 pounds of honey, water, yellow star yeast. Let's starting gravity once we get going. So let's go ahead and get this going. I've already poured a little bit of water in our coffee pot mix to start so we can dissolve some of the honey. Remember to save your lids. It's important. All right, so we're just going to start off with the honey right off the bat. Remember, save these jugs. You might want to refill them if you're a beekeeper like myself. You're able to save the honey and stuff to use again. Remember, when you get your honey to pour, kind of live it up a little bit. The honey will rest on the top of the jug and then run out the jug because the air is trying to come up. So give yourself a little room to let the air come out, or you'll have honey running down your jug. Now I'm going to give it a little turn and lift. That way I don't have honey running everywhere. Right, so that's always good to use. And then I'm using black cherry syrup. That's the company and stuff that I'm using. I've poured a quarter cup, and I'm going to go ahead and add that directly into the honey. This will give our cherry braggot a pinkish color, maybe like a peach color, which is kind of cool. And you can smell the black cherry really good. And then I'm going to add a little bit of the hot water to it, as well as adding my hot water to my honey. That's one reason why you save the lids. Get a little squeeze on it. When you do this, it's going to expand a little bit because of the steam as we dissolve the honey inside the jug. Right, we want to get all that honey out of there. Remember, save this. If like a beekeeper like me, you can refill them. So it's always cool. Sanitation. I have a dishwasher right underneath this. I wash everything thoroughly with soap and water through the dishwasher, and then I re-wash it again with just hot water to get it all sanitized. And we're using everything directly out of the container, so we usually don't have any problems. One reason why you save your lids is I want to dissolve that honey. Not too bad. I'm going to add a little bit more hot water in there to make sure you get all that honey dissolved. Nice. You can already see it's kind of making like a peach color to it. That's from the cherry sauce that we have. Now the cool part, huh? We're going to add our beer to the mix. Now, as you can see why, see the foam? That's why I suggest that you always put your beer and open it up a day before and let it go flat. If you have problems, put them over here in your recycling bin. Okay. Put my lid on, make sure my lid's on. See how it foamed up? Now I might have to let this sit for a little bit of time to get the foam down, right? That, like I said, I didn't open them up the day before. A little bit of a workout there. We'll see if we can knock down a little bit of foam with the water here. I did quite a bit. That looks pretty good. That knocked down the foam quite a bit, which was kind of nice. All right. it back on. Yeah, that's working out pretty good. Oh, this stuff's moving around really cool. Like I said, I usually try to open them up, all my cans and stuff, and let them settle a little early. So that's our black cherry braggot. You can kind of see it pinkened up. That deal's still got some foamy head on the top. I may have to top this off with a little bit of water and stuff as it settles down. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a hydrometer reading. So that's not really going to affect too much. Like I said, you can see it's kind of made a pinkish hue from the black cherry. And I'm getting lots of beer flavor. Super cool. All right. Take our hydrometer reading here. And remember, for every pound of honey you get, you usually get about 5% alcohol. So we're looking just on average, I would say, at about anywhere from 9 to 12%. So our hydrometer reading says 1.085. 1.085. So that'll be a good starting gravity. Let's put this whole label on the side of my jug, so that way I know what I've made. That's a good thing always to remember. Set this to the side. Now I'm going to go ahead and add my yeast if the temperature is correct. I'll take that right now. Right, if my temperature is a good temperature, I like 68 to 78. Some people prefer 85 and let it cool down. I think the best fermentations are 75 to 78 degrees. That's Fahrenheit. Sorry about that. We're sitting at about 72 because my beer was a little cold at the time. So that's okay, right? So I'm going to go ahead and take my yellow star yeast and my scissors. Cut the top off. Now people ask me why I use a whole pack. It's $1. I just spent $1 was all. So, you know, I guess if you wanted to, you could measure it down. These are good for 3 to 5 gallon batches. If you want to spend the time and measure it all down, you can. But this is $1. And you know, if you buy them in bulk, I do work with some other breweries and get some yeast from them, and they buy them in big bulk, and we measure it out then. But I usually just take this and use that. Now, I do take and pour my hydrometer reading back in to help kind of swirl the yeast back in. There's no sense of waste in this. Now what's really cool, as you see this is settled out, you can see we've only got a little bit of foam on the top. So that's super cool. Lots of honey taste. I'm getting an overwhelming honey taste, but that's pretty good. I'm going to put my lid on. I'm going to give this a little jostle. Get that yeast kind of mixed up in there a little bit. Nice. I'm really going to like this. I think this is going to turn out really well. Now, due to the fact we didn't do a lot of adjuncts in this, we will get a full volume in here, which is really nice. I really like that. That sometimes when you add your adjuncts, you go from a gallon to almost 3/4 of a gallon after you do stuff. So like if you're doing a grain steep and stuff and leaving adjuncts in here, you're not going to get as much volume out of it. And you know, I think most people don't understand that we're doing this in small batches for a premium mead more than volume of mead. I mean, if you're doing one every week, that's going to be 52 gallons in 1 year after kind of fermentation and aging. That's a lot. That's a lot of mead. We brew a lot of mead, give out lots of parties, and do some stuff. So don't think about, oh, I didn't get as much mead as I was hoping to because the adjuncts and stuff. You can always get a bigger fermentation device. You can get a 3-gallon, 5-gallon. There's big mouth fermentators. If you checked out our video, I believe it's 1.1 in the beginning of the series where we talked about fermentation devices, you see that we have big ones all the way down to little 1/2 gallon. Micro meads, I believe, are 20 ounces to roughly a gallon, and those are micro meads. You can use honey sticks for those micro meads and stuff, but that's something to think about. I was just kind of letting you go and talk so you can see that it's settling out, that we only have a little bit of headspace here. So that's some stuff to think about. I think we're all ready to go, and I think that's really cool. Here's something that I want to talk about and do something else with is that when you make meads like this, there's a lot of cool things that you can do it. Try different types of beers and different types of syrups to flavor them. I think that'll be really cool for you. I'm Michael Jordan with the Underground Meadery right here. I think it's something that's really cool that you should always try. This is a black cherry braggot using beer. Hopefully you enjoyed this. I might as well just put my airlock on it before we finish off. There we go. It's super easy just like that. That way the balloon will expand and get going. But I'm Michael Jordan with the Underground Meadery. Hey, like this, subscribe, share it with other people. We want you to enjoy great meads, and we want you to try experimental stuff. Have a great day.